afternoon and welcome to Spanbauer Park here in Oshkosh today where the Tigers take on the Lourdes Academy Knights. This is Bruce Lenk alongside our executive producer Jason Motter bringing you today's girls softball action live on Ripon Sports YouTube. The Ripon Lady Tigers played Ripon yesterday and came away with a 4-1 loss. Meanwhile, Lourdes played Amro yesterday and defeated Amro 7-4. Ripon comes into tonight's game with a 5-11 overall record. Lourdes with a 5-15 Trailways North Conference record. Well, actually it's an overall record, but they're out of the Trailways North Conference. Ripon is coached by Mike Makarevich, while Lourdes is coached by Quinn Heinz and Jim Johnson. Starters for tonight's game for Lourdes Academy. Batting first, number 3, playing shortstop, Reagan Proud. Batting second, number 8 and playing second base, Adri Geddes. Number 34, batting third, playing first base, Camille Clark. Batting fourth, number 22, the catcher, Kylie Kuklinski. Batting fifth, number 13, and pitching today for Lourdes, Sarah Blanchard. Batting sixth, number 13, playing left field, Madison Perenboom. Number 12, right field, Amelia Lindahl. Batting eighth, number 2, playing third base, Ella Slasarski. And batting ninth, number 30, playing center field for the Knights, Hope Burns. For your hometown Ripon Tigers, batting first, number 7, right fielder, Emily Kojabuski. Batting second, number 9, playing center field, Lexi Miller. Number 2, the DP position tonight being played by Abby Radloff. She'll be batting third. Number 4 batter for Ripon, number 11, the catcher, Avery Makarevich. Fifth batter, number 12, Cassidy Motter, playing shortstop. Batting sixth and playing first base, number 14, Erica Mills. Batting seventh, number 10, playing third base, Kylie Bussey. Batting eighth, number 15 and playing left field, Eva Baker. And batting ninth and playing the pitcher's position tonight for Ripon, number 20, Layla Simonis. And playing second base is number 4, Jessica Kletke. She's playing the flex position, which is the position where Abby Radloff will be batting, number 30 in the lineup for the Tigers. Weather conditions here today, warm day. Weather conditions here at game time, the temperature is about 81 degrees with about a 15-degree mile-an-hour wind out of the west-southwest. Actually, I think it's warmer than 81 degrees. I think we might be warmer than that. Take a quick look at our temperature here. And it says 89 degrees. I thought I saw earlier 91 before I left Ripon, so I thought it was a little warmer than 81 degrees. Field conditions, this field looks like it's in good shape. The grass looks to have been relatively recently mowed. But a hot day, and both teams have set up pop-up tents to keep their players out of the sun, otherwise there's no roofs over their dugouts. So we are getting ready here to start this game. Kojabuski's getting ready to step into the batter's box. We want to thank you for joining us today. We've got 7 viewers watching already. Thank you for joining us today. Give us a message and let us know where you're from. We'd love to hear from you. So Emily Kojabuski steps into the box, and first pitch is a ball to Emily. Emily's been leading off for Ripon pretty much the entire season. Second pitch to Emily. Big swing and a miss for strike 1. One ball, one strike count to Emily this afternoon as we start this game. Top of the first inning. Emily, the first batter for the Tigers. Next pitch inside for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. We hope you've been enjoying our broadcasts all season long. We've had a few difficulties along the way, but we've gotten by them. And strike two now to Emily, as she's got 2 balls, 2 strikes. Umpiring team out of Winneconne today. Emily steps up, waits for the next pitch, and she hits it right back at the pitcher and right through the middle, and that's going to be a base hit for Emily to open up this game for Ripon. And that'll bring up center fielder Lexi Miller. Miller, a senior for Ripon this year, graduated last week Saturday, finishing out this season with her team. Lexi's got a home run to her credit this season. And she steps to the box and waits for the pitch. And that's low. And Kajabuski steals second. Gets to the bag before they could put the tag on her. Nice try by Kuklinski to get the ball down there in time, but Kajabuski made it to second safely. So runner at second base with Lexi Miller up. And that goes in there, and she hits that. Shortstop gets it over to first base. Kajabuski goes to third. And that's going to put a runner at third with 1 out. And Abby Radloff coming up to the plate. Miller grounds out to the shortstop for out number 1. So 1 out, runner at third, and Abby Radloff steps into the box and waits for the first pitch. And right down the middle, swing and a miss for strike 1. So Radloff with 1 ball, or one strike, no balls. Misses the second one as well. 2 swings and misses. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 Radloff. 1 out, runner at third. Beautiful day out here today. A little bit warm, but overall a beautiful day. And strike 3 for Radloff. And they throw the ball over to first, and Kajabuski comes in. Radloff going to be safe at first as the first baseman dropped the ball. Kajabuski comes in, gets the first score for Ripon, put Ripon on the board here first today. In the top of the first inning, that's going to bring up Avery Makarevich, the catcher for the Tigers. Makarevich with 2 home runs to her credit this year. Makarevich, a junior. And a strike, the first call. She watches that one go by. So 1 run across, 1 out, and a runner at first for the Tigers. Makarevich at the plate. And that's inside for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike to Avery. She steps in, waits for the pitch. And it's there. She hits it foul down the third baseline. For strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Avery Makarevich. About a 12 to 15 mile an hour wind blowing here today. It looks like it could be a little stronger than that right now. But it's blowing in out of a southwest direction, so it favors a hit ball deep. And a pop up to third base by Makarevich is the second out. And that brings up Cassidy Motter. Motter, a senior also for this Ripon squad. Cassidy will be attending the University of Whitewater this fall. She'll play softball down there next spring. First pitch is a strike to Cassidy. I think Cassidy likes to let the first ball go typically to get a good feel for the pitch. She doesn't typically swing at the first ball. Takes that one, it's going to go down, ground ball to first base. And she's going to be safe, and the base runner for Ripon, Radloff, going to move over to third. So I guess they got to give Cassidy a base hit on that. Now she gets over to second. So some confusion for Oshkosh here this afternoon, and Ripon takes advantage as Erica Mills steps up to the plate. Erica playing first base. So now some conference, Oshkosh Lourdes coach going and talking to the umpire in the outfield. And they're going to discuss, there's some discussion about whether the runner went back to the base or not after she rounded it, and umpires I think are deciding that no, she did not go back to the base after she rounded it. So she's good to go to second, and Mills will step up to the plate. Smart running on the part of Cassidy Motter. Mills waits for the pitch. And strike one. She watches that goes by. Gets a feel for the pitch. So 1 out, 2 outs rather. Runners at first and second, or second and third. And a hit by Mills is going to be a base hit as it goes by third base, and that's going to bring in 2 runs for the Tigers. Puts Mills on first with a base hit. So 2 more runs come across from Ripon to give Ripon the 3-0 lead here in the top of the first inning. And that's going to bring up Kylie Bussey. Bussey generally plays JV for Ripon, but they brought her up, her and a few other players, for this game today. It's a non-conference game, so it's a good opportunity to give Ripon the opportunity to play some of their other players on varsity. Bussey and Jessica Kletke along with Alyssa Swanke playing varsity today, suited up for varsity. Next pitch to Bussey is a strike, and it's difficult to read what it says out on the board, but I believe it's a 1 ball, 1 strike situation. So 1 ball, 1 strike to Kylie. She waits for the pitch. And that's in there. She hits that foul for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Kylie Bussey. Two outs, runners at first for Ripon, or a runner at first. That's Erica Mills. And Bussey hits it to shortstop. She'll pick it up and out at first for out number 3, and that's gonna put an end to Ripon's 3-game or 3-run that they got here. So at the end of 1/2 innings of play, Ripon leads it 3-0. Ripon taking on Lourdes Academy. Ripon leads here after 1/2 inning of play. 3-0 as coming up to bat for Lourdes is Reagan Proud, shortstop for the Knights. First pitch to Proud is a ball. Ball 1, no strike. Layla Simonis pitching. And ball 2 now from Simonis to Proud. Simonis gets ready, winds it up for the next, and she'll foul that one back deep outside playing territory on the third base side, out of bounds. So 2 balls, 1 strike to Reagan Proud. Next pitch, she'll pull that one down the third base line for a foul. So 2 strikes now to Proud. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Proud, the leadoff batter for Lourdes here this afternoon. She'll step back into the box and wait for the pitch from Layla Simonis for the Tigers. And right down the middle, and that's going to get past Kletke at second base for a base hit to start things off here for Lourdes in the bottom of the first inning. So a base hit's going to bring up Adre Geddes. Geddes playing second base for Lourdes here this afternoon. Those of you watching, it's Lourdes in the white uniforms, Ripon in the black. And the first pitch is going to be a base hit out right where the second baseman should have been, but they were expecting a bunt possibly, and first baseman and third baseman had moved out, which left the second baseman, Kletke, to cover first. So she puts it right in the hole, puts runners at first and second. 2 base hits in a row is going to bring up Camille Clark, first baseman for Lourdes. Simonis, and she's going to hit that one right up the middle, and that's going to be a base hit. Load up the bases here for Lourdes. So they start off with bases loaded. 3 hits in a row for Lourdes brings up Riley Kuklinski, the catcher. I talked to Riley a little bit before the game, asked her if she was related to the Kuklinskis in Berlin, but she didn't know. She said she has a very large family. I'm familiar with some of the Kuklinskis in Berlin, so I had to ask that question. And Kuklinski will pop it up to left field. Baker will run in to get it and hold the runners at the bases. So good job by Eva Baker for the Tigers as she gets the first out. Kuklinski gets the first out for Lourdes. So 1 away, with Sarah Blanchard, the pitcher, coming up to bat. And she seems to have disappeared. They can't find her. So while we're waiting for Sarah Clark to make her appearance, or Sarah Blanchard, officials are going to put their heads together now. As they found her, and she's gonna so first she's gonna since she's late getting out here, it's gonna be starting with 1 strike on the batter. So an 0-1 count to Sarah Blanchard. So 1 out, bases loaded here for the Knights. Sarah Blanchard at the plate. She has 1 strike, fouls the ball away for strike 2. So Simonis out in front of the batter. Starting out here, no balls, 2 strikes. So a great opportunity for Layla Simonis to end this batter's appearance at the plate, and she throws a ball. Still ahead of her with 2 strikes, 1 ball. As we're in the bottom of the first inning, Ripon leads 3-0. That's going to be ball 2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes now to Blanchard. Bottom of the second inning, 1 out. Bases loaded for the Knights. Ripon could use one of their great double plays we've seen the last few games that they played. And that's going to be a hit out to left field. Baker charges out for that, but it gets past her. 1 run's going to come across to score, another one on its way. And 2 runs come across for Lourdes. And that'll put runners at first and second for the Knights, as Lourdes trails now 3-1, or 3-2 rather, my mistake, with Madison Perenboom, and going over to second is Sarah Blanchard. So runners now at first and second. Correction, that wasn't Blanchard that went. They were trying to throw the second base runner out. And that's Camille Clark. Got a little bit ahead of myself. We have an 0-2 count to Perenboom. So Simonis out ahead of her with 2 strikes. And now she'll tip that one back foul. So the count will hold at 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes to Perenboom. Simonis with a chance to get the second out here. And a good stop by Makarevich. She'll get it over to third base. They'll put the tag on her, and she's out. Good job by Makarevich to slow that ball down and get to it, to get the lead runner out over at third as she tries to go to third base. So nice job to be alert by Avery Makarevich. And a swing and a miss. It's going to be out number 3 by Perenboom. So Simonis gets out of it with only 2 runs coming across for the Knights. So at the end of 1 complete inning of play, it's Ripon 3, Lourdes Knights 2. Field in Oshkosh, going into the top of the second inning for Ripon, leading here 3-2 against Lourdes Academy. It's going to be Eva Baker. Eva batting 8th for the Tigers. Layla Simonis will be on deck. Baker will step up to the box. Pitching is Sarah Blanchard for the Knights. Blanchard winds it up, and a hit to the shortstop. Actually, the third baseman slowed it down, and then it gets past the shortstop, so Baker going to get on base, and we'll give her a base hit on that. That may get corrected later, but for now we'll give her a base hit. And that'll bring up Layla Simonis, Ripon's pitcher. So pitcher on pitcher here. No outs, runner at first for the Tigers. And a strike call brushes the outside edge. No balls, one strike to Simonis. Baker at first base. As Blanchard winds it up again. This time it's a ball. She pitches it high. So 1 ball, 1 strike to Simonis. Must be popping popcorn nearby. I can smell popcorn. So we have a foul now, and it's going to be strike 2 to Simonis. 1 ball, 2 strikes as Blanchard gets out ahead of her. No outs, runner at first for the Tigers. And Simonis hits it to shortstop and gets it over to first, but she didn't have control of the ball, and Baker will be first safe at second. Simonis gets on first on the fielder's choice, and that's going to bring up the leadoff batter, Emily Kujabuski. And we're going to have a courtesy runner come in for Ripon, and that is going to be, I believe it's Kylie Disterhalf, number 1. Comes in as a courtesy runner for Simonis. Emily Kujabuski comes up second time around here. She starts over again. She's first inning, she had a base hit to lead things off for the Tigers. Now tries to bunt, bunts it foul, and Baker's going to go to third. And Disterhalf will run over to second. So runners in scoring position for the Tigers at second and third, with Kujabuski at the plate with no balls, 1 strike. And she goes to bunt that one, and it's a strike. So 0-2 count now to Kujabuski. First time she hit the ball in the first inning, she hit it right at the pitcher and past her for the base hit. And this one hits her. Ripon has definitely had their share of players hit by the pitcher this season. I don't know if that's a stat that anybody keeps, but there's 7 times that Cassidy Motter and Emily Kujabuski have been hit by a pitch this season. So that brings up Lexi Miller with bases loaded and no outs for the Tigers. So Lexi Miller comes up, a great opportunity for Lexi. Lexi, as I said earlier, with 1 home run to her credit. And I know she's got family watching, I'm sure, and they'd love to see her pound a grand slam right now. But a base hit will do just to get the RBIs and get the runs to come across. So first pitch was a strike to Lexi. She starts out with a no ball, 1 strike count. I don't see Lexi's mom here, so I'm assuming she's watching, and that's going to go deep. Center field, it's past her, and that's going to bring in 1 run and 2 runs. Second one's on its way, and that's going to put Kujabuski at third and Lexi Miller at second with a double this afternoon. So makes the score 5-2 for the Tigers. 2 RBIs for Lexi Miller. So still no outs. Abby Radloff comes to the plate. Abby with a great opportunity as well to bring in some more runs and pad that lead for the Tigers. First pitch is outside for ball 1. Kujabuski at third, Lexi Miller at second. with no outs here. Tigers have 2 runs across here in the second inning. Top of the second inning as they lead it here 5-2. And a big swing and miss for Radloff is going to be strike one. 1 ball, 1 strike. So Radloff will step back into the box and wait for the pitch from Blanchard. And she's hit by the pitcher, and that's going to load the bases up once again for Ripon. So Blanchard have a little bit of a control issue, as that's going to bring up Avery Makarevich. Makarevich with a great opportunity here as well. Can bring in some more runs. And Makarevich steps into the box. No outs here for Ripon. 2 runs have come across. Makarevich takes the ball on the first pitch. 1 ball, no strikes. Makarevich needs a base hit here. Put some more runs on the board for the Tigers. Pad their lead some more. Ripon leads here 5-2 in the top of the second inning. She hits that one foul. 1 ball, 1 strike to Avery. She'll step back in and wait for the pitch from Blanchard. Radloff at first, Miller at second, and Kozhabuski at third for the Tigers. Ball now. So 2 balls, 1 strike for Avery Makarevich. Still no outs here this afternoon for the Tigers. Here in the top of the second inning. Blanchard with the pitch. It's going to be low for ball 3. So Avery Makarevich gets out ahead of, am I correct? That's ball 3? Gets out ahead of Blanchard with 3 balls and 1 strike. And she'll hit this one right field. See if the right fielder can't get it. That's going to bring in at least 2 runs. Makarevich rounding second already. And Radloff comes in. 3 runs come in, a triple for Makarevich. As Ripon puts 3 more runs on the board here in the top of the second inning to make it an 8-2 game for the Tigers. And that will bring up Cassidy Motter with Makarevich at third base. Makarevich gets 3 RBIs. And Motter waits for the first pitch from Blanchard, and that's going to be ball 1. Makarevich rounded second base, and she was right on the heels of Abby Radloff. Everybody else had to hold up and see if that ball was going to be caught. And Makarevich, she's tall, has long legs, and she was out there. Another 2 seconds, and she would have been home. Give her an in-the-park home run if that would have been the case, but she only gets a triple out of it. Motter with a 1 ball, 1 strike count. As Ripon leading here in the top of the second inning, 8-2. As Motter now with a 2 ball, 1 strike count. She's out ahead of Blanchard. Waits for the pitch. That's in there, a swing and a miss. It's going to even the count up at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Cassidy Motter. And I'm sure Cassidy has family out there watching. We'd like to welcome you along with us today. Family up in Kaukauna. And a strike. It's going to be the first out for Ripon. Strikeout for Motter, and that'll bring up Erica Mills. Mills got on a base hit in the first inning. 1 out. Runner at third base for the Tigers. First pitch is a strike. And Makarevich steals home and puts another run on the board for the Tigers. So 5 runs in this inning for Ripon. It's going to make it a 9-2 game. And now we have a 1-1 count, I believe it is, on Mills. 1 ball, 1 strike. And she'll tip that one for a foul. That's a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. As Blanchard gets ahead of her now in the count. So Mills will step up to the plate and wait for Blanchard's pitch. Sun's starting to set here. The shadow's getting along on the field, and Mills will strike out, swinging. So the second out here in the top of the second inning for Ripon is going to bring up Kylie Bussey. Bussey grounded out to shortstop in the first inning. Bussey is the last batter here for Ripon, as Ripon has gone through the lineup here in the second inning. So ball 1 to Kylie Bussey. 1 ball, no strikes. And next pitch is in there for a strike. Makes it 1 ball, 1 strike now to Kylie. Kylie, a sophomore at Ripon. She'll be a junior when they start school again next fall. Next pitch is in there. Inside for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike to Kylie. 2 outs. Nobody on. As Bussey steps back up to the plate, that's going to be outside for ball 3. So Bussey gets out in front of the pitcher with 3 balls and 1 strike. Next batter up will be Eva Baker, if Bussey gets on base. So Bussey waits for the pitch, and that's going to be ticked for a foul. So full count now to Kylie Bussey. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Ripon leading here in the top of the second inning, 9-2. As Ripon has put 6 runs on the board here in the top of the second inning. And that's down the middle, and she'll hit that out to right field for a base hit. And she'll get the second, or to first base. And that's going to bring up Eva Baker for her second time around here in the second inning. Baker with a base hit. As she started out this second inning for the Tigers. See if she can do it again. Get this rally started once again. She started it. And that goes down the third baseline, but it's going to go foul for strike 1 for Eva Baker. So no balls, 1 strike, 2 outs and a runner at first for the Tigers. 2 outs here in the top of the second inning. Baker hits it down the third base line again, but it goes foul before it gets to the third base. So no balls, 2 strikes to Baker. Eva Baker steps back up to the plate, trying to get on base here and extend this inning for the Tigers. And that's going to be hit deep to center field, but the center fielder's out there to garner that ball for out number 3. And that's going to retire Ripon here in the top of the second inning. Ripon gets 6 runs on 4 hits. And at the end of 1 1/2 innings of play, our score. Oh, the score. Ripon 9, Lourdes 2. Back here in the bottom of the second inning, leading off for Lourdes, Amelia Lindahl, right fielder. She takes a strike on the first pitch by Simonis. Ripon leading here in the bottom of the second as we get started with the bottom of the second, 9-2. Big swing and a miss by Lindahl as Simonis gets out ahead of her. No balls, 2 strikes. And she strikes out swinging for out number 1. Whether she swung or not, that was a strike. So brings up Ella Slusarski. Slusarski playing third base and takes the first pitch for a strike. Simonis doing a fine job out here in the second inning for the Tigers. And that one's in there for strike 2. That's 5 strikes in a row she's thrown. Next one's in there. That's a strike. She'll hit that one out to center field, and Lexi Miller catches it for out number 2. And that'll bring up the bottom of the order for Lourdes. Hope Burns, center fielder for the Lourdes Knights. She got the last out of the inning for Lourdes, and a swing and a miss for strike 1 for Burns. Burns steps back up to the plate, waits for the pitch, and that's going to be a ball this time. Looked like Simonis may have slowed that one down a little bit, took a little bit off it. 1-1 count. That one's in there for a swing and a miss for strike 2. So Simonis gets out in front of her. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 outs, nobody on for the Knights, and that's going to be a ball as that gets past the catcher even. A little bit of a wild pitch there for Simonis. She hasn't had many of those this afternoon. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 Hope Burns. And she'll chop that one over to shortstop, and Motter will throw it over to first for the out. So 1-2-3 inning for Lourdes as we end the second inning with Ripon leading here 9, Lourdes 2. Welcome back to Spanbauer Field. Starting the third inning, Ripon leading here 9-2 against the Oshkosh Lourdes Knights. First batter up for Ripon will be the bottom of the lineup, Layla Simonis. Simonis doing a fine job in the bottom of the second inning pitching. As she went 1-2-3. Simonis got on a fielder's choice, and now a blooper out to left field for a base hit. She'll round first and go to second, and that's where she'll be on a stand-up double for Layla Simonis. I don't know if my little friend Ella Weisky is listening today, but if she is, Ella, hello, and have a great day, great weekend. So Simonis gets on first as the leadoff batter here in the top of the third inning for Ripon. Brings up Emily Kozhabuski. Kozhabuski got on, and Disterhalf going to go in to run for Kozhabuski, or for Simonis rather, as a courtesy runner. Kozhabuski with a base hit in the first inning, then she was hit by the pitcher in the second inning. So runner at second with Kozhabuski at the plate for the Tigers. And she goes to bunt, gets a strike, and now going to second is Disterhalf, or to third rather is Disterhalf. So good running by Disterhalf to get on third base. So a base hit should bring in a run. Kozhabuski waits for the pitch. That's going to be a ball, and Disterhalf is going to come in on a wild pitch, actually a passed ball. So another run on the board for Ripon as Ripon leads it here 10-2 here in the top of the third inning. So Kozhabuski will step back up to the plate. Kozhabuski with a 1-ball, 1-strike count. And she waits for the pitch. That's a high pitch, but she takes a swing at it, and it's going to foul it back the third base side behind us for strike two. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Emily Kozhabuski. And Kozhabuski takes the next pitch for a ball, going to be a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Want to welcome all our viewers and listeners in today as Ripon leads it here in the top of the third inning, 10-2 with no outs, 1 run across. Kozhabuski takes a swing at it for the third out, or the first out rather, third strike. As she strikes out, brings up Lexi Miller. Lexi had a double in the second inning. Lexi brought in 2 runs on her double. So Lexi Miller with the chance to get on base here again. And she's hit by the pitcher. So we've had, I believe, 3 or 4 hit by the pitcher here this afternoon. So Lexi Miller at first base brings up Abby Radloff. Radloff was hit by the pitcher back in the second inning. She's got 2 runs across to her credit here in this game, first inning and second inning. So Abby steps up to the plate, and third baseman will pull that one in, but Miller gets to second on time as they try to throw her out there. And Radloff will get on first on a fielder's choice. And Avery Makarevich comes up, her last time up at bat. She hit a triple and brought in 3 runs. See if Makarevich can do it again with runners at first and second. Avery Makarevich doing a fine job at batting this season. as she fouls that one back for strike one. Made a few adjustments to our technical situation here, and hopefully we're getting a better feed today than we have the last couple of games. And this one's going to be a base hit, and that's going to go out past the center fielder. That will bring in 2 runs as Miller comes in to score, followed by Abby Radloff, and puts Makarivich at second. So 2 more runs come across to score to make it a 12-2 game in favor of the Tigers here this afternoon. Makarivich with a double brings in 2 RBIs. Cassidy Motter coming up to the plate. Cassidy has a run to her credit in the first inning. She struck out in the second. See if Cassidy can get a hold of one here and bring Makarivich home. That's going to be outside for ball 1 for Cassidy Motter. Cassidy with 1 home run to her credit this season. That was in the game against Waupun. First game against Waupun. And a strike now to Cassidy. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Ripon leading here in the top of the 3rd inning, 12-2 with a runner at second, 1 out. Cassidy Motter at the plate. And a swing and a miss for strike 2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Cassidy. Yes, Cassidy will step back up to the plate and wait for the pitch from Blanchard. Blanchard with the pitch. That's going to be low, and that's going to put Makarivich over at third on a passed ball. So 1 out, runner at third now. And a 2 ball, 2 strike count to Motter. 3 runs have come across to make it a 12-2 score here in the top of the 3rd inning for the Tigers. Last time Ripon saw a 12-2 game, that was with them leading, was against Plymouth in the doubleheader in the 2nd game of the Twin Bill. Motter hits this one foul. So the count will hold at 2 balls and 2 strikes. As Blanchard gets ready to wind it up here for Lourdes. Motter at the plate, runner at third base, and she tips that one foul. So extends her opportunity at bat. Trying to get her timing down to get a hold of one here to bring Makarivich home for another score. Ripon leading 12-2 in the top of the 3rd inning. As Blanchard with the pitch right down the middle is going to be fouled down the third baseline. Hits it at Coach Makarivich. He's got to step out of the way. So Motter will step back up to the plate and wait for the pitch from Sarah Blanchard. Blanchard winds it up. High pitch and actually hit, and that's going to put Motter on. And I believe that's hit by the pitch number 8 this season. Cassidy hit the most by any pitcher so far. And that brings up Erica Mills with runners at first and third with 1 out. That's going to be a strike. Motter will go down to second. Puts 2 runners in scoring position for Ripon. Mills with a 0 balls and 1 strike count. And that's in there. She'll hit that one over the third baseman's head. That'll be a base hit. That's going to bring Mater in as she runs round third. Makarevich and Mater both in. 2 more runs on the board for Ripon. Going to make it a 14-2 game for the Tigers. As Makarevich and Mater both come in on the base hit by Erica Mills. Mills ends up at second. Brings up Kylie Bussey. Bussey had a base hit in the second inning. Bussey takes the pitch and hits a pop-up up to center field. And that's dropped by the center fielder. Bussey will go to second, but Mills will advance to third. Putting runners at first and third for the Tigers, with Eva Baker stepping up to the plate. But Allie Bumby going to come in to bat for Baker. Here in the top of the third inning, as Bumby takes a ball on the first pitch. 1 ball, no strikes. Top of the third inning, runners at first and third. Our score, Ripon leading 14-2. As I said earlier, Lourdes a member of the Trailways North Conference, and Bumby hits that one foul down the third baseline for strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Allie Bumby. So Bumby will step back up to the plate and wait for the pitch from Blanchard. Coach Makarevich giving his younger players a chance to play here today. And that one's outside for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike to Allie Bumby.
Still ahead, Allie. Be smart. Pick one out.
As she waits for the pitch from Blanchard. And that's in there. She'll hit that one to the third baseman. And they'll throw Bussey out. And then the out at home as Mills tries to come home, but that's going to be a double play and end the inning. So Ripon gets across 5 runs on 3 hits. Makes the score Ripon 14, Lourdes 2 at the end of 2 1/2 innings of play. Here at Spanbauer Park in Oshkosh. Welcome you into our game this afternoon as we start the bottom of the third inning. And first batter up for Lourdes should be the leadoff batter, Reagan Proud. Proud getting hydrated here, as it's pretty warm out here. She looks pretty warm. Putting a cold pack on her neck and trying to get her cooled off a little bit here before she steps up to bat. But Ripon leading here in the bottom of the third inning as we get ready to start the bottom of the third inning, 14-2. We want to thank you for joining us today. I'm Bruce Link with your play-by-play alongside Jason Motter, providing our technical skills today on the camera and the computer. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm sure we have family members out there watching, along with, I don't know how many we might have from Lourdes. Family might be watching us, but definitely Ripon family watching, as I'm sure there's some of the Kaukauna people for the Matter family joining us, and a few other places, I'm sure. So, Reagan Proud ready to step up to the batter's box. Layla Simonis ready to pitch here in the bottom of the third inning. Ripon leading it here 14-2. And first pitch is a strike. She hits that one out to left center field or right center field. Gets past Lexi Miller. She's going to turn second, go to third, and she'll be into third for a triple to start off this third inning, bottom of the third inning for the Lourdes Academy Knights. So maybe taking that water break and cooling things off a little bit was what she needed. First pitch from Simonis gives her a triple here this afternoon in the bottom of the third inning. So Adri Geddes steps up to the plate. That's going to be a ball. No outs, runner at third for Lourdes. Geddes with a 1-ball, no strike count. She'll step back up to the plate and wait for Simonis' pitch. She'll hit that one out to left or right center field. And Downs will pull that in. And Downs is in the game now for Ripon for Kajabuski, playing right field. Geddes gets a base hit, brings in a run to make it a 14-3 game with no outs. Runner at first brings up Camille Clark for the Knights. She steps up, waits for the pitch. And that'll be a base hit right over the head of Bussey. Stopped by Baker out there, so runner will hold up at second, and Clark will get a base hit. So 3 base hits in a row for Lourdes, as Riley Kuklinski, the catcher, will step back up to the plate here in the third inning. I guess I better, I've been writing everything in the second inning. Make my adjustment here. And they're going to tag third on the ground ball to third. Bussey walks over, tags third to get the lead runner out. So 1 out now. And that's going to bring up Sarah Blanchard with runners at first and second for the Knights. And she'll foul this one back. Sarah Blanchard with a no ball, 1 strike count. One out. Runners at first and second here this afternoon for the Knights in the bottom of the third inning. And Bussey will pick up the ball and tag third for getting the leadoff batter out for the second out. So a ground ball to third results in out number 2. As Blanchard gets on a fielder's choice, puts Kuklinski at second, Blanchard at first, and brings up Madison Perenboom. First pitch to Perenboom is a ball. So 1 ball, no strikes to Perenboom. Next one's a ball, and that was a little bit out of the way, but nice stop by Makarevich. 2 balls. Is that 2 balls? 1 ball, 1 strike. And she'll hit this one out to center field. Lexi Miller gets under it for out number 3 to retire the side here, but Lourdes gets 1 run across here in the bottom of the 3rd inning to make the score 14 for Ripon, 3 for Lourdes. Welcome back. We had a little bit of a longer break than usual as players taking a hydration break here between the bottom of the 3rd and the top of the 4th inning. First batter up for Ripon will be Layla Simonis, the last batter in the batting order for Ripon. Layla was the first batter last time up as well. So Simonis hits it to the shortstop, and she'll be thrown out at first for out number 1. Layla got on a base hit last inning. So shortstop over to first for the out, and that brings up our leadoff batter. And it is now Avery Downs, who came in for Emily Kajabuski last inning in the outfield, playing right field, as Downs will step up to the plate. Few position changes here for Lourdes as well, as coming in to catch now is Faith Blanchard. And we've got out in center field Ellis Lasarski. In right field, Downs with a swing and a miss. Here in the top of the 4th inning. No balls, 1 strike as she steps in, waits for the pitcher. And that's going to be a strike. So 2 strikes. No balls. 2 downs here in the top of the 4th. 1 out for the Tigers. Downs takes an outside pitch for strike 3 for the second out, as Lexi Miller will step to the plate. Miller has a double to her credit in the second inning and then was hit by the pitcher in the third inning and has 2 runs across the plate to her credit. As strike 2 Miller on the first pitch. So Lexi steps back up to the plate, waits for the pitch again by Blanchard. That's in there. She'll foul that one away for strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes to Lexi Miller. She waits for Blanchard. And she tags that one foul down the third base line. And playing third now for the Knights, that's going to be Riley Kuklinski. She moves from the catcher position to the third base position. I'll try to update you on position changes as I can notice them. And hits it right back at the pitcher. Pitcher can't pull it in. It's going to go out in the center field as Miller will get a base hit. Gets on base, her second base hit of the game. That brings up Abby Radloff. I'm sure Mom is happy back home. She didn't get the chance to make the game today. And we do miss you, Pam. And a swing and a miss. Miller will go down to second. Abby Radloff with a swing and a miss for strike 1. No balls, 1 strike to Abby Radloff. As she steps in now, she'll step back out as Blanchard is taking longer than Radloff would like. So she'll step back into the box and wait for the pitch from Blanchard. And it's there. She'll foul this one down the third base line for strike 2. Ripon with 2 outs here in the 4th inning. Top of the 4th inning as Ripon leads it here 14-3. Ripon hoping to pad their lead some more. 2 outs, runner at second. That's Lexi Miller out there. Abby Radloff at the plate with 2 strikes. And she'll hit that one foul right at Coach Makarevich. Down the third baseline. Makarevich had to do a little dance out there. Beautiful day here in Oshkosh today. And strike 3 by Radloff is going to be the 3rd out. Ripon leaves 1 player on, 1 hit, no runs. As at the end of 3 1/2 innings of play, it's Ripon 14, Lourdes 3. Welcome back to Spanbauer Field. I'm Bruce Link with your play-by-play. Jason Motter on our technical here this afternoon. Few changes again for Ripon. Pitching now for Ripon, Alyssa Swanke. Alyssa come up from JV. Give her a chance to pitch here this afternoon. Get a little practice in with the varsity squad. And Emily Kozhebusky comes back in out at right field. So first batter up will be number 5. That's Faith Blanchard for the Knights. She's in the bat for Amelia Lindahl. As the second pitch is a ball, making it 2 balls, no strikes to Blanchard. She steps in, waits for the next pitch. That's going to be a strike, making it a 2-1 count to Faith Blanchard. Excuse me. Yeah, 2-1 count. 2 balls, 1 strike. Next one's in there. Big swing and a miss for strike 2. For 2 balls, 2 strikes to Blanchard. As Swanke starting to find her target. Coming in fresh off the bench. Low pitch is going to give her a full count at 3 balls, 2 strikes. Alyssa trying to get her timing down here. Good opportunity for Alyssa to get some. And a strike right down the middle for out number 1. As Faith Blanchard watches that sail by. And that's going to bring up the next batter. And before I mention a name, I want to make sure I've got the right batter. Number 2. And that's Ellis Losarski. She's the one that's scheduled to bat. So strike on the first pitch called for a no ball, 1 strike count. And strike 2 by Swanke. Blows it right by her. Alyssa doing a nice job of finding the target. Next pitch is in there. That's going to be strike 3. Outside edge as the second out for Swanke. As she watches that go by. Brings up the final batter in the order, Hope Burns. Burns waiting for the pitch. That's going to be outside for ball 1. Ripon leads here in the bottom of the 4th inning, 14-3, as ball 2 now. Nice stop by Makarevich. 2 balls, no strikes. On a beautiful Friday afternoon. And ball 3 now by Swanke. Gives her a 3 ball, no strike count. Swanke takes a deep breath and tries to collect herself and now puts a pitch in there for a strike. 3 balls, 1 strike. She's going to make Burns work for this, and that's in there. Tips that one back, comes off the umpire's helmet. Face mask. Strike 2. So Swanke has full count on Burns. 3 balls, 2 strikes. With a chance to get the third out here, and that's going to be low for a ball, and that's going to put her on base. So inning extended here as leadoff batter Reagan Proud will step up to the plate. Reagan comes to the plate with 2 outs, runner at first for the Knights. So Swanke winds it up for the Tigers, and that's going to be strike 1. No balls, 1 strike to Proud with 2 outs and a runner at first. Ripon leads here in the bottom of the fourth inning, 14-3. Swanke loses her grip on this one, and they try to throw the runner out over at first, but she gets back in time. Hope Burns returning to the plate. So 1 ball, 1 strike now. Too Proud. Yeah, Swanke with the next pitch. That's going to be high for a ball. 2 balls, 1 strike. Swanke, a sophomore this year. She'll be a junior next year. And strike 2 now. Too Proud. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Chance for Swanke to get out of here with only 4 batters coming to the plate. And that's going to be a base hit to second. And stopped there by Kletke. Jessica Kletke playing second. She got the stop and kept it in front of her. So that's going to put runners at first and second to extend the inning a little bit more. Audrey Geddes will come to the plate. Geddes with a base hit back in the first as well as the second inning. And ball 1. Pitch to Geddes. Runners at first and second with 2 outs here for the Lourdes. Umpire takes a brief timeout to clear the plate off. As next pitch by Swanke in there for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike now to Geddes. She'll call a timeout as she steps into the box. And Swanke winds it up, going to be low for a ball. 2 balls, 1 strike to Audrey Geddes. Umpire's got to clear the plate off again as they kick sand up on it. Wants a good view of the plate so he can see where the strikes and balls are. Especially those outside edges. Next pitch is in there high for a ball. Going to give her a 3 ball, 1 strike count. So 3 balls, 1 strike to Geddes. She steps back up to the plate. And that's in there for a strike, and she hits it foul, and it's going to go out of play. So the count will be full now with 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runners at first and second here in the bottom of the 4th inning. As Geddes steps back up to the plate. That's going to be a ball. So puts Geddes on a base on balls, loads up the bases for the Knights, and brings up Camille Clark. Camille Clark with a base hit in the 1st and the 3rd innings, both times at bat for her. And she fouls this one for strike 1. 2 outs, bases loaded here for the Knights. She steps up and waits for the pitch from Swanke, and that's going to be low. Nice stop by Makarevich, and Makarevich throws it down to third, and they overthrow third, and a run's going to score. So another run across, runners advance to second and third for the Knights with 2 outs. And Camille Clark at bat. She's going to hit that one out to left center field, and that's going to go deep. Lexi Miller, 2 runs are going to score, but they're going to get the batter out at third, but 2 runs are going to score on that hitter. So 3 runs come across in the bottom of the 4th inning for the Knights. on Clark's hit. Didn't get a base hit, but she was thrown out at second by Ripon, trying to go to second base. So that will end the fourth inning with our score: Ripon 14, Lourdes 6. We're back here at Spanbauer Field in Oshkosh. Ripon leading here as we start the top of the fifth inning, 14-6 over Lourdes. Some changes here for Lourdes. Riley Kuklinski comes in to pitch now for the Knights. Ella Slosarski moves over to third. And I'll try to get other changes. I know there's at least one more in there somewhere, and we'll try to get that for you as we go. So first batter up for Ripon in the top of the fifth inning, Avery Makarevich. She takes a ball on the first pitch from Kuklinski. 1 ball, no strikes. Makarevich had a triple in the second inning and a double in the third inning. She's brought in 5 runs today so far. As another ball from Kuklinski to Makarevich. 2 balls, no strikes. Makarevich, our first batter up here in the top of the fifth inning. And the ball high. So 3 balls and no strikes now to Avery Makarevich. Kuklinski pitching for the Knights. And this one she puts right in the middle, and that's going to be hit deep to right field. And she'll round second, going to third. And they're going to throw it down to third, but Makarevich with those long legs gets to third base and in scoring position for the Tigers as Cassidy Motter will step up for the Tigers. So Makarevich starts it off with a triple here in the top of the fifth inning for the Tigers. Motter steps up to the plate to wait for the pitch from Kuklinski. Nice hit by Makarevich. First pitch is going to be, and that's going to get away on a pass ball. Makarevich is going to come in and score standing up. That's going to make it a 16-6 game for the Tigers, or 15-6 game. My mistake. So Motter takes another ball, makes it a 2-ball, no strike count. Kuklinski getting set to wind it up. That's going to be outside for a ball. So 3 balls, no strikes to Cassidy Motter. And that's going to be called a strike. So 3 balls, 1 strike now to Cassidy. Nobody on, no outs for the Tigers. Kuklinski in the shadows of the tree now, and Motter fouls that one for strike 2. Gives her a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here in the top of the 5th inning with no outs. Cassidy hit by a pitcher in the last inning. Make that the 3rd inning. She hits this one up foul, or no, it didn't go foul. It stayed in play, and the 3rd baseman pulled that in for out number 1 on the pop-up. And that was Slasarski. Catching that is Erica Mills. Comes up. Mills got on. She's got 2 base hits, 1 in the 1st and 1 in the 3rd inning. And this one she hits out to right field. That's going to drop for a base hit. She'll get on first with a base hit. So 3 base hits here for Erica Mills this afternoon as Kylie Bussey steps up. Bussey with a base hit back in the 2nd inning. 1 out, 1 run across, and 1 runner on as Bussey steps to the plate for the Tigers. First pitch is a ball. Mills is going to go down to second. And that was a high looping throw from the catcher, so easily got on second for Mills. So Bussey with a 1 ball, no strike count. Now 2 balls to Bussey. 2 balls, no strikes. To Kylie Bussey. Bussey waiting for that right pitch. And that's high and inside for ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes to Kylie Bussey. Bussey grounded out in the 1st inning to the shortstop. This one they called a strike. So 3 balls and 1 strike now to Kylie Bussey. Bussey getting instructions from Coach Makarevich. And this one she's going to hit the right field line drive, and that's going to bring Erica Mills around 3rd and stand up at home for another run for the Tigers. So Mills with a base hit and a run this afternoon. Bussey gets a base hit and an RBI, as that brings up Allie Bumby. Bumby hits it back to the pitcher, and that advances Bussey over to second on the fielder's choice as they throw Bumby out at first for out number 2. And that'll bring up Alyssa Swanke. Swanke's first chance up to bat today. She came in for Simonis last inning. It's a pitch. Alyssa fouls it back for strike 1. I want to remind you, tomorrow we're going to have an early morning game, so put the coffee on, as it'll be a 9 o'clock start down at Jackson as Ripon will play Kettle Moraine Lutheran, and Swanke gets hit by the pitch, and she'll get first base. So that'll put runners at first and second with Kujabuski coming to the plate. And Disterhalf going to come into the game to run for Swanke. So runners at first and second. 2 runs have come across. 2 outs as Emily Kujabuski, the leadoff batter, will come up to plate, or up to bat. First pitch is a ball to Kujabuski. Kajabuski re-entered the game last inning, going back out to right field. And that pitch is in there for a strike. Runners for Ripon will advance to second and third. So 2 runners in scoring position for Ripon. Disterhalf and Kylie Bussey. Bussey at third, Disterhalf at second. And Kowalewski now with a 2-ball, 1-strike count. Riley Kuklinski came in this inning to pitch for the Lourdes Knights. Ripon leading here in the top of the 5th inning, 16-6. That's in there. That's going to be hit to the second baseman. She fumbles it up, and they called her safe at first. 2 runs are going to come across to score for Ripon. Some of the Lourdes players a little bit shocked that that was a safe call at first. It was close for Kajabuski, but got to give an error to the second baseman on that. She had the chance to get that in her mitt, and she couldn't do it. So that'll bring up Lexi Miller as she hits it ground ball over to shortstop. She can't control it. Another error by the shortstop this time, as that's going to put runners at first and second for the Tigers with 2 outs, and coming up to the plate, Abby Radloff. Radloff has come across to score 3 times for Ripon this afternoon. She was hit by a pitch in the second inning and got on a fielder's choice in the third inning. So Lourdes coach wants to talk things over a little bit with his players out on the mound. He calls the infield in for a little conference. Coach Makarevich takes the opportunity to talk to Abby Radloff. Ripon leading here 18-6 in the top of the 5th inning with 2 outs. Runners at first and second, and Abby Radloff stepping up to the plate. Radloff, the last batter to bat around here in the 5th inning. And if this inning, if Radloff gets on base, Makarevich will be up for the second time this inning as Radloff fouls it back for strike 1. So no balls, 1 strike to Abby Radloff with 2 outs, runners at first and second for the Tigers. That's going to be a ball inside as Abby ducked away from that one. 1 ball, 1 strike now to Abby. Kuklinski gets set for the pitch. That's going to be low for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike to Abby Radloff. Searching for the right pitch to come into her to get that base hit and drive in some more runs for the Tigers. Ripping up by 12 here, 18-6. That's going to be a ball. And it hit her foot, so that's going to be another hit by pitcher. Oh, they're going to say no. They're going to say that wasn't the case. So it'll be a ball. 3 balls, 1 strike to Abby. Runners at second and third for the Tigers, and that's outside. That'll put her on base this time. On a base on balls. As we have runners filling the bags now. First, second, and third is Avery Makarevich, leadoff batter in this inning, will come up for the second time. She hit a triple her last time at bat. She's got 2 triples and a double to her credit this afternoon. Chance to add some more RBIs to her scoring stats. Makarevich with, I believe it's 7 RBIs this afternoon. As bases loaded. 1 strike, 1 ball to Avery here in this top of the 5th inning. Next pitch, and she hits that one out to center field. That's going to drop for a base hit. Brings in 1 run. Kajabuski's across, Miller's across, and here comes Radloff and Makarevich with another triple here this afternoon. And she'll end up coming in to score as well. So 4 runs across this afternoon in the 5th inning for Makarevich. That's going to make our score 22-6 for the Tigers, as they're leading the Lourdes here this afternoon now by 16. Extends our inning and brings up Cassidy Motter for the 2nd time this inning. So Cassidy Motter steps up with 2 outs and nobody on. And that's in there for a strike, right down the middle. No balls, 1 strike to Cassidy. And that hit her off the shoulder, the left shoulder, or was it the back? She's holding her side, her right side, but I thought it went off her shoulder. I'm not sure which. So she's been hit twice by the pitcher. I believe we're up to 9 hit by the pitcher this season for Cassidy Motter. That's got to be the most of any Ripon player at this point. That'll bring up Erica Mills as they extend the inning 1 more time. 2 outs. And Motter leads off, gets a big lead off, but now we're sending they called Motter out for leading off early, so at the end of 4 1/2 innings, it's Ripon 22, Oshkosh 6. So Oshkosh with a chance to catch up here, but if they don't get it to within so many runs, it'll be the end of the game here at the end of 5 innings, with Ripon leading by 16. Back here at Sandbauer Park in Ripon on this Friday afternoon. A beautiful Friday afternoon it is. I'm Bruce Link with your play-by-play here this afternoon. Jason Motter at my left side doing the technical work. Our executive producer stepping up to the plate. Riley Kuklinski, a young lady pitching at this time now for Lourdes. And she'll hit a ball, 1st pitch, and that's going to be caught by Motter over at 2nd base as Motter comes across to catch that for out number 1. And that'll bring up Sarah Blanchard. Blanchard with a base hit back in the 1st inning. She takes the 1st pitch for a ball from Melissa Swanke. Swanke all ready to pitch the next one, and she puts it in there. That's going to be hit up high to, it looks like Bumby now out in left field. She gets that one for out number 2. So Ripon 1 out away from winning this game here this afternoon at 22-6 as they lead here by 16. Madison Perenboom takes ball 1. from Swanke. She'll step back up to the plate. Next pitch. Outside edge for a strike. And that one's high for a ball. 2 balls, 1 strike to Perenboom. Next ball is a strike, or a ball rather, as well. And the ball, that's 4 in a row. Going to put Perenboom on base on balls as Faith Blanchard will step up to the plate. Faith came in as the catcher for Kuklinski a little bit earlier, a couple innings ago, and she's going to pop that one up, and that's going to drop foul. Bussey, Swanke, and Makarevich all there to try to get that ball for the out. That would have been out number 3 in the end of the ball game. But Faith Blanchard starts off with a strike on the foul ball. That's going to be low for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. As the sun's starting to set here a little bit this afternoon, and feels like the temperature's gone down a bit as well. Next ball is a strike. We've lost about 1 degree. And that's going to be a foul back. So 2 balls, 2 strikes to Faith Blanchard. 2 outs, runner at first for the Knights. Swanke trying to end this game. And that's going to be a called strike for out number 3. And that should end our game here this afternoon as Ripon wins it 22-6. Be sure to join us tomorrow morning, Saturday, as we will be coming to you from Kettle Moraine Lutheran as the Tigers will play the Chargers in a morning eye-opener. So grab your coffee and sit back for the final East Central Conference game of the season for the Tiger Girls softball team. First pitch is scheduled for 9 a.m. Be sure to listen to Tiger Beat on 93.1 and AM 1600. WRPN, The Wave, every Thursday morning at about 8:20 a.m. for updates of what is taking place in Ripon High School sports, brought to you by Accurate Controls in Ripon. Once again, final score today from Spanbauer Park in Ripon. The score, Ripon 22, Lourdes 6. I'm Bruce Link alongside our executive producer this afternoon, Jason Motter, saying good evening and be safe. Thanks for joining us, and as always, stay safe and stay Tiger proud.